life source, the Brisbane River, Maiwa Wa.
All those white fellas you thought we were so good. That was it. That was the.
So they close the yard
Okay, only 2 seconds.
Yeah.
By the way, and a
The corroborees. Can you hear them? The ancient tribes of Brisbane chanting, singing, dancing, the place of yoga, Breakfast Creek, home of the Yagara families. As we journey, what do you see? Newstead House, built in 1846. In fact, the oldest surviving residence in Queensland. Can you see the world-renowned Breakfast Creek Hotel, built in 1889, where people from all over the world come to enjoy a steak and a beer? My Aboriginal grandmothers worked there also as servants and cooks. Can you see the Mercedes-Benz building, where the millionaires and billionaires purchase luxurious motor cars? Well, we see this place quite different. Through the Aboriginal lens, we see the Borogram, like our church, under Newstead House. The Mercedes-Benz building was a shipping port for our canoes. Our Breakfast Creek Hotel, it was home, our village, housing the old and young. How could we forget up there on Allington Hill, the cemetery of our old ancient people from 65,000 years ago until the 1800s. Then, one day, a party of 5 young road police officers entered our village, fired a couple of pot shots, black stumps. Well, that's what they told their superior officer in the inquiry. Constable Abjohn led the order. One of the accompanying officers asked, "What are our orders, sir?" Abjohn replied, "We are about to turn them out." The cavalry arrived at the Breakfast Creek Aboriginal village and Constable Abjohn shouted to the blacks, "Remove at once! We burn camp! You go sit down bush!" The tribe, after living there for millennia, stood their ground and protested, just as if it was your own street being evicted for no reason. In less than a minute, Abjohn and his troops began torching the village. "You'll not take our home!" one of the warriors screamed, rushing towards a constable with a spear. It was at this moment the carbines and muskets were unleashed. The screams of our Aboriginal tribes, men, women and children, could be heard as they scurried away to safety, carrying an elder to the bark canoe near the Mercedes-Benz building, with 2 troops in tow, firing, killing even the tribe's dog. A bullet wounded the elder, the eldest male of the tribe. After the incident, a reward for £50 was put forward to any settler in the colony to come forward as a key witness on behalf of the Breakfast Creek Aboriginal people, but to no avail. The elder, wounded by the bullet, he died the next day. That was our great-great-grandfather. He never lived to tell the tale, but his legacy continues to this day. When the Breakfast Creek Hotel was licensed, our tribe established good relationships with the family owners. When the owners left and settled east in Wynnum, my grandmother, Sarah Dinable Morton, left her village homelands at Breakfast Creek and went with them. Although she could not reside in the main house, one of their family, George Fage, knew of the history and gave her a block of land now known as Eleanor Park. In Granny Dinable's time, it was known as the Wynnum Blacks Camp. A funny story, you know. My Aboriginal grandmother Dinable said, "That man Fage, he my husband." But there was never any relationship between them two. In her eyes, he was her husband because he looked after her, gave her land, a safe place, and provided for her. It's amazing what people from 2 different worlds can achieve when we are prepared to communicate with one another.